Baba, as a Real Madrid fan, looking at Dortmund, what do you think brought them to these finals, and what are you worried about most about them? Or do you think Madrid is going to just run over them?
No, I think at this junction, nothing should be overlooked or underdone anymore. As a matter of fact, Dortmund, they are good side as well too. And for Madrid, you see, Madrid has played.
Let's talk about the Dortmund big play before we wrap up this one. Ugum, 5 months ago, Sancho was training with Manchester United under 18 players. 5 minutes later, he's going to the Champions League finals with a man of the match performance. And I remember last weekend we were talking about Eric Ten Hag, and I was telling you guys that for me, there is a very huge element in coaching. Today we're bringing that out against UCL. So I don't know how do you wrap your head around this one? Sancho, Manchester United, Eric Ten Hag, and Champions League finals in the next 2 weeks.
Well, these things happen. I am not quick to blame Eric Ten Hag for what happened. I think that they had their differences. Ten Hag had issues with the way Sancho was conducting himself, and the mistake he made was making it public, where it became a back and forth thing between player and coach in the press. And knowing the way that the British press feel about Eric Ten Hag, the campaign has been there to find a way to get rid of him with everything happening at United. So they capitalized on that, and it became a very messy affair. I think the right thing was for Sancho to move on to a place where he felt more comfortable and more appreciated. And Ten Hag continued with his team. I still, even at this point, do not blame Ten Hag, because if a coach wants to enforce discipline or wants his team to be run in a particular way, I don't think he got rid of Sancho based on talent or based on ability. I think he got rid of him based on discipline and the differences that they had in personality. So, I do not subscribe to that theory that Ten Hag is to blame for Sancho leaving and then going on to thrive at Dortmund.
But before whatever happened, Anthony and we again on the other side, we are ahead of Sancho in terms of selection. And I think that's where this is started from. Anthony was doing very poorly and was starting week in, week out for United, while Sancho was on the bench. I think that's probably the root of this problem. So you're looking at Sancho now and the way he has performed in Dortmund. That's where I'm looking at it from. Not the disciplinary, from the technical point of view. The performance from day one he got to Dortmund, he has been performing. Mm-hmm. Something must be wrong between the way he plays in Manchester United and the way he's being used in Dortmund. So that's where
I buy it. I buy into that. I think that one of the things about Ten Hag that I've noticed is his insistence on certain players. He stays with them until it becomes completely apparent that those players are not, delivering at the level they're supposed to deliver before he's forced to make the changes. So yes, in that regard, he wasn't using Sancho well the way he was supposed to, mainly because he bought Anthony. Remember, he brought Anthony in for a lot of money, and I think he was under pressure to justify that move by continuing to play Anthony. Everybody that watches the game of football will know that if you play Sancho on the right wing and play Anthony on the right wing, we all know who the better winger is. We all know who the more productive winger is. But, I guess all those dynamics came into play, and he didn't use Sancho the way he was supposed to.
Yeah, dude, as a Real Madrid fan, can you evaluate Dortmund performance in the semi-final, at least for these last two games? And what are the chances of Real Madrid in the finals, to win the 15th Champions League?
Okay, yeah. So if you look at Dortmund, the way they played, against PSG in the second leg. There's a lot of similarity with the Dortmund game and the Bayern game. That the similarity is in the sense that they defended very deeply, and there are so many low blocks. And I believe they have only one way to play against Madrid, which is the same way. So what Madrid should be looking at is how to unlock, that defense of Dortmund. Not like they are not quick. They are not very quick in counter attack. Their goals come maybe through run of play or set pieces and the likes if they have to take the opportunity. But Madrid, for me, is highly favored to win that game comfortably if they can unlock that defense. They can draw them out, to the middle and then hit them, from the flanks. So for me, that's the way they are going to play. I do not see any other way Dortmund is going to face Madrid except through that way. They know they're going to come into the game as underdogs, and they're going to pack the bus even tighter than they did against PSG.
Yeah, maybe I know you predicted that your prediction is that these two will meet in the finals and Dortmund will win. So what makes you, looking at how these two teams have performed in the run into these finals, what makes you think that Dortmund, what's the advantage over Real Madrid?
Yeah, before I go to that course, I want to address something Osborne and Reggie, you all talked about. Though Sanchez is playing really good in the Champions League and with Dortmund, but he wasn't playing good with Manchester United. I would want us to start looking at soccer past the infant or rudimentary style of looking at soccer, where there are technical issues there. The Bundesliga, with all due respect, you can't compare that league, irrespective of how it is, with the EPL, the rigors of what it takes to play in the EPL. Mudryk was good in the Champions League for Shakhtar Donetsk. Chelsea bought him to EPL. What has happened? So it's a different league. Some players are good. So the Champions League is not a true testament of a player's quality, because that's just a knockout competition. The week in, week out games, especially in an EPL season. So if Sancho is not doing well in Manchester United, is that the same reason why he's not being called up to the English? When he goes to England, he doesn't do well too? So there are different levels to this. As regards to Dortmund, from the moment they got
out. But let me write that. You forget that Manchester United, they are also in Champions League when he was in Manchester United. What did you do?
No, it does. Well,
it's the same. They were there too now. They were still in the Champions League when he was. They played the.
The point I'm trying to make is it comes up with form too. At that time, he was playing week in, week out.
If you listen to what we are saying, the point was that he wasn't even playing. They were playing Anthony ahead of him. He was getting 10-15 minutes here and there. Because
if you watch his performances, it was dreadful. Anthony was a new.
Anthony was worse.
But Anthony was a new. They just spent. Remember, Sancho was not a Ten Hag buy. He wasn't a Ten Hag buy.
Yeah, now you're talking.
He wasn't a Ten Hag buy. So if Anthony is a Ten Hag buy, who do you think he will play first? Will he play Anthony or will he play Sancho first? So let's leave that argument. As regards Dortmund, I told you guys on this podcast that the moment they got out of the group stage, the way even from the group stage games, when they had Newcastle, they had PSG, I told you all, I stated it here categorically that they would top that group. And when they top that group, Dortmund will go to the finals. And you guys were like, I said, Dortmund will beat Atletico, they will beat PSG, and they will go to the finals. And here we are today, they're in the finals. How are they going to play Real Madrid? Dortmund has a system. Again, they have a system that is tailor-made for teams like Real Madrid. They're going to stifle Real Madrid. You see this ball Real Madrid is playing, and they have a good coach too. They are sitting fifth in the Bundesliga. But when it comes to the Champions League, it's a different ball game. You talk about the wings. Who do they have on? They have a Matson on that left-hand side that will be able to hold Rodrigo or hold Vinicius if it goes on the other side. They have experienced Hummels, and then they have a Can. They're in that midfield that is full of energy. I fancy this. You may be like, that's what when they were in the group stage, I said it. You guys laughed at me. You laughed at me. You said I was crazy.
Let me allow the Real Madrid fans
and before you go to the Real Madrid, I thought Jude was an Arsenal fan.
He's a Real Madrid fan.
I thought he was an Arsenal fan. Jude, are you not?
Jude, well, let's not go there. Because he's a Real Madrid fan.
This one not anywhere Beleface fan.
Let's leave it there. Dude, can you respond to that? Because for me, I don't really agree with what Mimi is saying, but let me leave it at not a Madrid fan. Respond to him, Baba. Respond to him. And do you think that the Dortmund has this one is going to be a free hit for them to win the cup?
Mimi, don't just put your money. Madrid will trash Dortmund. That's all I have to tell you. Because it's not. I've told you what Dortmund is going to do. They are not going to be. They will not come to Wembley to be adventurous in that game. They are going to come into that game with the same mentality they used against PSG. They are going to be very, very cautious. They are going to be in their half for most part of the game. Looking for a way to stifle the onslaught of Madrid. If you look at what Madrid did today, they knew they had the liberty, knowing that the league is behind them. One, they have the league in the bag, so everyone came onto the pitch focused. They had one thing in mind: to win this game and to go forward. So from the defenders, they were a bit high up the pitch, and that's what they're going to do. That level of cautiousness they had when they played City and the other teams, they were more adventurous. They were more free flowing in their game. So, and I don't know what Dortmund is going to do except to pack the balls, because Madrid will not let them get out, and that was what Madrid did very well today against Bayern. They kept them most of the time in their half and kept on putting on the pressure. Even when Bayern got the goal, they still continued. They never ceased, because they know there is an opportunity in there and someone just had to nick it in.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's what they're going to.
After the first legs, we reviewed the games, and we were kind of confident that with Mbappe, PSG was going to go through to the finals. Can you unpack what happened in that game? What do you think made PSG not succeed in the second leg?
Well, I was totally convinced, yes, that Mbappe was going to be the difference. But Dortmund surprised me, quite pleasantly in the type of a team football that they play. They marked Mbappe really tightly, and they were really good on team football, which I think is going to serve them well against Real Madrid in the final. Mbappe did not click as he normally would click, and I think a couple of people got in the way of Mbappe in the game. One of them being Dembele. Dembele was hugely frustrating, right? That guy misses the easiest of chances, and then tries to score the most difficult ones. There were opportunities for him to have created really good openings for Mbappe. There were two of them that I saw Mbappe just shaking his head after the game. Me, I could see the pass. Just lay that ball across and Mbappe will score. He tried to score himself, and all those times he still failed, to do anything with the ball. And that was very frustrating. So, yeah, I think that Dembele was one of the reasons that PSG lost that game, and Dortmund played really, really well. And for the final, I think, Jude, you may be surprised. I don't see Dortmund packing the balls in that final. I think they're a very pragmatic side. They do not have gifted midfielders that will overrun Real Madrid's midfield. That's not possible. But they have a very strong team ethic, that Dortmund team. And I think that that's their biggest asset. And I think that Real Madrid should be very careful about that, because they're going into a final that they will go with supreme confidence, knowing their record in the Champions League. And they're going to be going up against a perceived weaker opponent. Perhaps not what the kind of opponent they expected in the final. So
nothing to lose mentality.
Nothing to lose mentality. Exactly. Nothing to lose mentality. When you're up against those kind of teams, you need to be careful. Otherwise, before you know what's going on, the game is over. It's not going to be a Bernabeu where you put teams under pressure for the last 5 minutes and extra time, and you come away with goals at the end of the day. They will be surprised as to if they let Dortmund get a 1-goal lead the way they did against Bayern, they will not be able to recover from it.
But Baba, as a Real Madrid fan, looking at Dortmund, what do you think brought them to these finals, and what are you worried about most about them? Or do you think Madrid is going to just run over them?
No, I think at this junction, no team should be overlooked or underdog anymore. As a matter of fact, Dortmund, they are good side as well too. And for Madrid, you see, Madrid has played German team from the when the Champions League started by playing the Union Berlin, RB Leipzig. You see, they are going to do the research very well, because, like Jude said, that they are going to play by passing the ball around themselves. No, they have a very technical finishing. Adeyemi, the boy will play like he wasn't on the field at all. But once you allow him to penetrate, that's going to be a problem. But I think for now, we had a very good player that is going to handle the situation. But they just need their focusing and their mentally sharpness to be interested. So to me, I think it's going to be a good game. But at the end of the day, the Madrid will take the day.
Okay, guys, thank you for stopping by. Before we go on this one, don't forget our passion series. We have our Tumblr for the summer for those who have weight loss programs, going to the gym and the field. Check us, DM us on Facebook and the t-shirts as well. We have them in the black and white shirts. Support Transit TV as you have been doing. If you are new to the channel, subscribe if you have not done so, and share the content. Guys, thank you for stopping by. It was an interesting. Is
it for free?
Yeah, DM us and you will get the price, $25 for either of them, anyone you want. Including the mailing cost, we'll send it to you. Support our cause. The channel is growing. We appreciate our viewers out there. The subscription is going up. The view numbers are going up as well. The channel is growing. And we've got to do what we're doing. 2 weeks from now, we'll know who the champions of Europe will be. Will Madrid continue to dominate Europe, or Dortmund will be the new crown kings of Europe? Judy, say something.
I said, where is our lady Choma?
Yeah, the issue in Nigeria, she was supposed to log in, but she said they don't have power and internet in her area, so she couldn't. She couldn't join us. Hopefully, we'll review the game before the finals. And obviously, this summer as well, you guys should not forget, we'll be doing a total review of the season of these big teams and what to expect them to do in the transfer window this summer and ahead of next season. Thank you guys for stopping by. Congratulations, Real Madrid. Congrats once more. You guys again have done it. The miraculous Madrid, the Bernabeu mystery. We witness today again, and we'll see what happens in 2 weeks' time. Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.
Bye.